Okay.
Okay, let's go. Yep.
So I hope nobody is hungry now. Let's start. So we will talk about engineers and a new way of engineering, an Engineer 2.0, a playbook written by big tech companies, and eventually we will be following.
Okay, and before that, a little bit about us. Hello, I'm Külli. I have been in IT for 7+ years. So in heart I'm a psychologist, but also usually you can find me figuring out life next to cursor, too expensive cappuccino with my corgi Kafka.
Right. I'm Dmytro, engineering manager, mentor, AI enthusiast, spent over 13 years in IT, I think. Worked as manager at Bolt and Microsoft. Yeah, so let's see what we have. But before we start, here you see the QR for Slido. If you scan here, you will be redirected to Slido. There you will be able to ask questions. And then we can answer them at the end of the session.
Yeah,
Right,
let's
so
give a second. No more phones.
No, a few more.
Few more. Okay. So, let's start.
Külli mentioned she liked coffee, so we drink a lot of coffee, and from time to time we talk that, hey, old good IT was different. So back in days, like 10 years ago, those of you who remember the job ads looked like this, pretty much similar. So quite easy, right? We ask from you Java, SQL, Kafka, Docker.
Yeah, and salary and snacks are included. So looks like a perfect job ad. But let's see what you all think. So we are interested. So here is another QR code. And do you like this style of a job ad?
And now our recruiter is watching, right?
Yes.
Oh, I think vote is anonymous. But let's see.
Okay, let's see.
Nice.
Wow.
It's growing.
It's probably the snacks, right?
The snacks are talking.
My corgi would agree.
Yeah. So next time bring corgi.
Yeah. Yeah. We are talking with the microphone. Okay.
Let's wait. Okay, all.
Yeah, I think we're mostly done.
71%. Okay. Around 70%. So it's a good job advertisement. Nice, great. But what's happening right now? If you open most of the job ads, especially in big tech companies, the description might look, well, misleading. Let me show you one screenshot. I made it a few days ago.
Okay, let's read it carefully. So what is there? Bachelor's degree, 5 years of experience with software development, 3 years of experience testing, and etc.
Don't you see the contrast? It's very different with old-time job ads.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of information here, so let's remove some of the words. I would like to see what's the core.
5 years of experience. I mean, obviously, if you spent 5 years in IT, you had the chance to test your software, you had the chance to think about architectures, maintain and deliver something, and probably you know more than one programming language, but it doesn't make sense, right? I'm pretty sure you hit all these expectations.
Yeah, and it looks a bit of strange. So one interesting observation is also that the companies add a lot of huge marketing texts next to the job advertisements. So I don't know if you noticed it, But if you didn't, let's look at another example.
Maybe it's not visible from there. I will read for you. Google accelerates every organization's ability to digitally transform businesses and industry. I need this bright to read it.
So it's etc., etc., etc. So I'm like really wondering who actually reads this text. So let's see. If we remove some of the unneeded words from here again, what happens? It looks better. We can actually read something from this.
So here you see expectations. So what do they expect from you? You create next generation technology. You bring fresh ideas from all the areas, like specifically information retrieval, distributed computing, large-scale system design, networking, data storage, security, AI, language processing, UI design, and mobile.
And is it all?
No. You should lead projects, manage priorities, deadlines, deliverables throughout the full cycle of engineering. Means you design, develop, test, deploy, maintain, and improve. What they say? Improve enterprise-grade solutions. I guess alone. Yeah.
Okay, but let's see what you all think. Like, who are they hiring? For who is this advertisement?
Some alien, right? Some monster. Maybe AI agent.
AI agent, yes.
GPT-5, yes.
GPT-6.
Not interesting. Let's see.
Okay, let's see.
Oh my God. Who wrote that? I see a guy from Microsoft here. You vote there. Don't vote.
All right.
But you feel the vibe. You feel the vibe. Yeah.
So let's look.
Time to reveal the truth, but actually you guessed it right. It's mid, maybe somewhat senior engineer, so requirements are more or less the same, just I would say maybe the impact radius slightly different, but yes, so the same requirements you can see for mid and senior at big tech.
Yeah, and it actually does look like engineer is now, in addition to architect, QA, tech lead, PM, partially a manager, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
But okay, but then what happens to the managers? If engineer is responsible for everything, then what about them?
We have quite a simple answer.
But then here it's about salary, so we need to kind of get less money, so what they budgeting or something? No? If I get it right.
We did not make a screenshot about
Let's say they need senior.
Yeah, but honestly, we can discuss compensation later, but honestly, somewhat philosophical question, but not, how to say, it might be less than most people expect to get from Google on mid-level. But yeah, let's see.
Okay.
You know this guy? Steve Ballmer, it's 1999, 26 years ago, and his speech sounds somewhat fresh again. Let's listen.
Yeah.
And then we will see Forbes articles, what they say about managers.
Let's see.
I hope it works.
Not there. No.
So guy just yells like, the key for industry transformation and people who drive this industry are developers.
Yeah, and it's from 1999, just as a reminder. So, let's get to the managers. If you see any of those words like great unbossing, the great flattening, that is about it. It actually literally translates to more developers, less managers. And at least for 2 years now, the big companies have been cutting all those vertical and horizontal managerial change. And Google, for example, let 35% of managers go. And it's worth remembering that such changes actually happen very steadily. So I would not be surprised if more than half of the managers are affected.
So in big tech, it's becoming more and more visible, this managerial cuts. Probably we will see more in the next years. But again, maybe you are ready for the next QR code. Let's see. So how many people in your team? Just curious. If you're a manager, you can say like how many reports you have, or if you are an individual contributor, just how many. So let's see how the situation goes in Tallinn. Five. More.
Oh, I love that one. There
hits.
is one also. Yay for the singleton teams.
But let's be honest.
Okay, it's more or less like 4 to 5, 8 to 9.
Interesting, and 10 is growing, 10
Yeah.
and more. People, who are you? Who's 10 people? Okay.
It should be a separate company, right? So actually, HR doesn't reveal like their internal policies about what's the target number of reports. But however, we believe that in most cases the range is between 6 and 9. And this is confirmed by interviews with big tech executives. For example, Zuckerberg says his preference is 7 to 8. Bezos at least 6 to 8, and one of the Microsoft leaders communicated 8.
And up to 15.
And up to 15.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We mentioned engineers, we mentioned managers, but nowadays it's not possible to make any presentation without mentioning AI, so we must mention it, right?
This is a part of engineering, right? Okay.
So Külli, everyone says that AI is must be part of feature roadmaps. Is it just hype, or what's
Well, I think we actually all acknowledge that it is everywhere. Like if you take a Spotify, like your whole experience is basically curated by AI. And that's not a side feature anymore. This is like the core experience you get from there.
Like, for example, Netflix, over 80% of what people watch there come as AI recommendations. And in return, they started to get approximately $1 billion a year, which is not bad, right? So they keep you hooked with them.
Yeah, and also Shopify, like even a 2-person shop can now scale customer support with AI chatbots. So these handle 70% of the first-line questions, like where's my order, what's your return policy, so no human interaction anymore.
But okay, let's not look on features. Let's follow the money flow. And obviously, all of you know that companies investing in AI. Amazon recently doubled investment into developments into their generative AI innovation center, for example.
And Meta actually built an entire super intelligence lab and new AI data centers. So these aren't anymore the pilot projects. These are like $1 million bets. And if AI isn't in your roadmap, investor comes and asks, why?
Yeah, Spotify entertain us, Netflix keeps us watching, Shopify sells something to us. But those are like relatively small features, and if you see Amazon and Meta and others, they are just making this bloodshed and fighting for AI race. Smaller companies might suffer, but big mammoths, they are pretty much moving. And they send us a very clear message that AI is not optional in engineering work. It's a new default for us.
Yeah. So.
What changes for the engineer then?
Okay. So very like classical picture in some sense. But before, like the value meant writing lines of code. The faster you code it, the better. And the progress was becoming an expert in certain framework and language. We all know those Java gurus, and maybe some of you also are here, a Java guru. But now it's different. Value is actually how well you use AI. Efficiency means that you gain time to take other roles by using AI, not just coding faster.
This time, maybe you should not really run after your title or deep syntax knowledge for most of the engineers. Just, I would say, maybe we should try to maximize our focus on impact that you create and use AI for that.
Yeah, so let's put it this way. Engineer 2.0 isn't just somebody who codes. Think of it as you are an orchestrator also for the AI.
So it's not already enough to know how to use this AI. It's still valuable. Let's check what's the expectation nowadays.
Okay, so actually both Google and Microsoft CEOs have said out loud that 20 to 30% of the code, new code, is written by AI now. So let's take it as a baseline going forward. And of course, a lot of the big tech companies have AI training programs already for their stuff. So being able to learn quickly and adapt even quicker is the key here.
So learning speeds up. You need to learn, and apply your knowledge immediately. And also, why not to share your knowledge with others so you get additional insights? But also don't forget about security and compliance. So right now, regulators are still watching about data protection. We still have all these GDPRs and other things. Many big tech companies published their documents about AI ethics and guardrails and so on. So we recommend you to keep an eye on this and check if your company has any regulations, any documents. All in all, probably you will need to take this AI stewarding in your company, and it will give you bonuses quite fast. So you master your skills with AI faster.
So what we got? Confusing job ads, the great flattening, growing teams, AI augmentation. So where are we going? And you need to use AI and so many other hats as an engineer now. It's like you see a Pac-Man game with plenty of corridors and plenty of AI ghosts. So will AI make us jobless? I think we all asked this question at one point in 2023. Where do we run and what's the goal of this game?
Probably we will have job. AI is just a tool. Same as a hammer or wheel, they were just invented slightly earlier. But I think there are three main rules of this game. So first, call yourself one of those three Pac-Mans. Product manager, tech leader, or product engineer. Secondly, start adding more and more skills to your portfolio. And then, of course, I repeat myself, use AI and don't escape those nice AI ghosts.
So basically it's not anymore about climbing the vertical ladder of your career. It's more of this horizontal expansion of skills.
Well, at the end of the race, I assume we will become closer to the picture there, where you have a lot of hats, a lot of roles, and other roles are significantly reduced in numbers, like maybe QA roles or analyst roles. And the dominating Pac-Man here will be engineer, like product engineer. Those people who can be multitasking in terms of full stack, like backend, front-end, DevOps, somewhat from security, maybe compliance, architecture, of course, testing, and solid soft skills on the background, it's must. I don't want to say that QAs disappear or DevOps disappear. No, they will not disappear, for sure. But number will be quite reduced, I believe.
Yeah, and if we go and look at product managers, even though like a lot of the, let's say, routine activities go to engineers, then product managers will not get bored, of course, by project management. They can shift higher level and more exciting job, thinking about long-term vision, market insight, also market expansion and strategy.
Engineering leaders like EMs or tech leads, they will get more and more reports, and they are moving to the world where they need to think about scale rather than micromanagement. And they also must become much closer to product from one side and shape the team and processes from the other side. So in this new world, there is no saying like, hey, it's not my job, it's not my responsibilities. Now we are somewhat mixing, meaning that PM can check code from time to time, EM can substitute PM or engineer, and senior engineer can even substitute EM in some case.
So, all right. We actually see a lot of layoffs in big tech companies. So in some cases it seems like they don't need engineers.
Well, yes and no. Indeed, they reduce some branches. In some cases, they can reduce gaming divisions. But this is part of optimization of the cost. They move engineers towards more AI-enabled roles and also sometimes to hardware roles. For example, for those who support data centers for running all this modern stuff. So anyway, there are good news. That companies will need full stack engineers even more, and also they will need good product managers with deep domain knowledge and of course AI experts. Believe me or not, but even big tech companies, they really struggle to find really good product engineers. So they have hundreds and hundreds of applications, but yeah, it's quite hard to find.
Okay, but there are also like opportunities there, and I think here we also want to ask the question that if you're a regular engineer in, let's say, this mid-range company, so what are the things you can do tomorrow in order to become this product engineer or engineer 2.0?
There are so many ways to do that, but no silver bullet though. In ideal world, it's amazing if you can go to your manager and say, hey, please give me end-to-end project where I can work on front-end, back-end, DevOps. Better if I also can communicate to people, stakeholders, and also touch architecture aspects and think about delivery.
Yeah, but in some cases, like people, not all people work in startup companies where you have all those opportunities. So.
Yeah, that's true, but there is also a solution here. Then you can shadow your colleagues. For example, you go to QA and say, hey, can I just see what you do for 1 hour and you will explain to me. Or you go to DevOps, say, hey, 1 hour a week, why not? Same you can do with any person in the company. So why not? You will learn a lot. There is another alternative. You can even take a small task from neighboring teams, and that way you can expand your technology stack and domain stack, and they will be happy.
Yeah, I've actually heard also something similar about scouts. So if you do something every day, you become better at it. And this rule is also like applicable for any task you do. So if you notice some suboptimal code while doing the task, spend 15% out of your time to fix it.
I already hear the question. Where should I find that time? Like, if I help other teams and I help QAs and I do everything, well, that's a broader discussion about time management and such things. But in general, think about it. You can delegate some boring stuff to AI somewhat. It's already quite good in that. And also, if you are not junior engineer, but maybe like senior or middle at least, you can also delegate tasks to juniors, maybe even interns.
Yeah, and if you really work in a really old school company and none of those things are in the picture, then actually hackathons are a way to like evolve your skill. And I think the most important part here is follow your heart, don't fear new things, and have fun in the journey. So the world belongs to courageous, I would say. But we also want to touch the leaders, so let's not forget about the managers.
Well, approach is very simple for similar for managers and tech leads. So you think about building this T-shaped and diverse skill set. So you try stuff from PM, maybe BizDev, whatever you kind of touch in your domain. But there are a few more unique things for managers. So you need to think about your team. And here we would say that try not to micromanage in that sense that maybe you give specifications for your team, maybe you give precise directions where we should go, but try just to explain the end result and give a freedom for them. And they will grow. They will probably be happy, I assume.
Yeah, but we also saw like multiple slides back that there is this big flattening, we are getting rid of managers. So does it actually mean, well, there aren't a lot of opportunities going towards next 2 years?
Yes, so in big companies it may happen that you want to stay on this managerial track and lead people, but company might propose you to go to some alternative stacks like PM or architect, and you must be ready for that. But let's assume you don't want to. Then startups. Well, I believe a lot of startups will be happy to have a manager with diverse skill set. Absolutely. So it's a good opportunity for you to grow and continue growing.
Okay, but regardless of the position, I think those 3 things are will be valid. So remember to do what you truly want to do, and follow your heart. It's the best place for the motivation.
And once again, fear nothing. New areas, they scare you. Don't be scared. Try new things. Maybe you will fail multiple times, it's normal, but after multiple attempts you will succeed and grow.
And have fun, because we spend so much time of our life at work. I think I left yesterday at 9 o'clock or something like that.
Oh God.
Yes, so if I'm not having fun, I wouldn't be here. Okay, but a few honorable things to bring out. Here is...
You can also read our blog. A lot of our engineers are sharing their ideas and findings, also managers and engineers, so you're welcome to visit our blog on Medium. We published recently multiple great articles also about our interns and how did they apply this product engineering thinking from scratch.
Yeah. So go and take a look, and
Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening. So be smart, be active, be open. Thank you.
And follow your heart.
I have a question. So the goal is to be a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes, true. That's absolutely true. But at the same time, you have like second brain, some ChatGPT that you can ask, and then if you know how it should look like, you can guide it and you can take knowledge from there. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It just we see that it's happening. That right now, more and more requirements for engineers to be a full stack. So, but yeah, that's a philosophical question. I agree.
I would add here, like as an extra answer, that actually what becomes more important is some extra skill. Let's say you're an engineer, you have very focused, like, okay, I've learned Java, I'm very good at, I don't know, asynchronous communication, etc., etc. But then there's something extra, like you're very good, you're a teacher, for example, you're an educator, you have that, you're, I don't know, artist, you have that. So there's this extra skill. I think this becomes more and more important.
Like, good indication. If somebody of you went to the interviews to, let's say, Google or whatever, even Microsoft in Estonia, probably you noticed that they never ask you questions like, hey, what is the, I don't know, in Java, sealed interface, right? You will not see that questions. Maybe they will ask about some algorithms or give you practical tasks to implement something, but never go into these deep details of the specific language. But they will ask you about architecture, system design, component design, a lot of soft skill questions, a lot of behavioral questions. And recently Facebook, I think, they thinking about this AI-driven interviews, where they give you AI and now here we go, implement stuff. But yeah, it's philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
I have a question. Thank you, nice presentation. Enjoyed it. But what you describe, it applies to product companies, because all the examples that you brought out were actually like technical product companies.
Yes.
But there are also many companies out there which are more like body list type of partners to other companies, and then the engineering hours are built by hour. Or there are even companies that exist where people need to submit information about how much like hours they have spent on one task or another. Isn't your stance a little bit like describing only the product companies world and not really applicable for the traditional like software companies?
Yeah, we had a long discussion about that, and we have
yes.
an answer for that. Hackathons. So you can go to hackathons, and normally on hackathons you do a lot of stuff that you can use. So yes, in such companies it's a big trick. And then you have chicken egg problem, because from one side you are very like, here is your scope, you are a Java developer, here's your ticket, don't move, like just drag your ticket in Jira. But then you cannot develop your skills, and then chicken egg problem. How to run out of that cycle? We think like hackathons. Or pet projects also, but on pet projects it might be somewhat motivational issues to run it through.
Yeah, I guess there will always be those like government, let's say institutions where you have you see this, there's this 50 or let's say 60 plus year dude who has done Java like forever, and there will be still like companies where you go and you're like, okay, I can be the pure, let's say the old school, I guess, engineer there. Like not saying anything bad about it, just that if the world around us actually evolves in a way that all of those simple engineering tasks will be automatically solved, then all of us engineers need to think, okay, what can I add to my skill set so I wouldn't be like either stuck in my job or I have more opportunities out there. So this is how I view it.
And by the way, it also gives a great opportunities for switchers and older generations who can use AI for education and making more steps and apply skills from the previous experience. By the way, we had a lot of interns who are switchers. They came from absolutely different places and become successful. Even
I would like to maybe complement the drawback what Enn mentioned. Because ending as well, it's not like a jack of all trades, master of none. And the second part is, but oftentimes better than master of one. So it means anyways, multi-skill, like you said, these things.
Yeah, I think we all heard previously it was hybrid engineer was very popular naming that you're a hybrid, but now it's like product engineer, and I guess it still means that you have like multiple skills in your pocket. Yeah.
And maybe I have a question for the audience. Like, how many of you are using one AI tool, at least one? How many are using two? 3?
oh, good.
4? So 3 is kind of optimal, I see.
But how many you use?
I have 5. So.
5. Nice.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So let's go here.
Yeah.
Then.
Psychology studies shows that people are not good at multitasking. Why should work in engineering team?
That's a question for sure for Külli.
Sure, there are people who struggle more with it, absolutely. But then again, here comes in play this, you're one, like this, how to say, it doesn't mean that you have to be every day everything. It means that if you're a person that needs like more focusing on one thing, then you need to be better in your time management in that sense. Or another thing is that I would say this multitasking is also more like you have multiple different, you can't switch to something. So in a case where you are the only one in your team, your whole team goes to vacation. Now you are there, can you handle 1 week alone? I guess this comes into play. This is this, I would say, litmus test that are you able to fulfill the roles when needed, when others aren't around. So, yeah.
Depends.
I guess we'll see on the little ones who will grow up with using AI and a lot of screens around them, a lot of information coming in. How does human get used to this new kind of situation where you have to filter and be good?
We are not judging, we are not saying it's good or bad, this multitasking. It's just what we observe in the market, that engineer now becoming, how to say, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and now engineers like responsible for everything.
Okay.
So just the fact.
If imagine you want to have a kid who will be a future engineer, has maybe some dream, right? So I would ask you, what kind of skill you would expect the school to teach them in school to become in future the best great engineer?
Maybe we are not the most professional people here to answer that, but
definitely critical thinking, like being able to critically review whatever information is sent to you. And this means that the children need to learn reading. They need to understand like information, like flow basically. So I think, but it's very difficult to say what kind of it's like multi-sides, what to teach them. Mm-hmm.
How about even about this aspect, how AI would help to develop critical thinking or not, what do you think, in school?
now probably yes. But I would be careful with AI because there are a lot of trends there which is not nice. So for example, there is one trend when certain organizations or countries try to change the sources where AI collects information for learning, and they try to create those sources artificially with needed messages or propaganda or something. Of course, AI company is battling that process, but I would be careful. AI still creates a bubble, and who knows what they put there. So that's a constant process of fighting with evil, and sometimes evil wins, sometimes not. So AI is good, but still need to be careful and have critical thinking. I think it's a
Yeah.
key.
Okay.
Don't we have any concerns regarding the quality that the engineers does?
Great question.
Especially,
Great question.
Especially regarding the security, because your bank should be one of the top priorities.
Love it.
So my concern is, okay, AI can write some code, but the code amount is pretty big. So engineers need to spend the time to carefully read line by line, and then put a PR, and another engineer should approve it.
Yes.
But in modern world, people are so lazy that, okay, you wrote the code, another person, so probably the first person already read the code,
Yes.
so I will just blindly approve it. So
Yes.
this leads to
But do you remember-
LGTM examples.
Do you remember how did we code before AI? We had the old version of AI, Stack Overflow. So you copy paste from Stack Overflow, right? And you paste it in the code. And some engineers don't even read what they copy paste from Stack Overflow in the code, right?
Yeah,
So-
but the thing is, it was small snippets of code. It wasn't like complete solutions where could be so many holes.
Yes.
And it's just one snippet, okay, maybe
Yes.
one file, but not like many files, entire AI.
True,
Maybe there are some guys who just copy pasting projects from the public repositories.
No. They just used, libraries downloaded from internet. So somewhat similar. You download library. But to be serious, yes, it's a big problem. There are a few things that you can use. Of course, you can use another AI to review it, and also you can have some guardrails like SonarQube and everything to check this code is decent. But of course, yes, it's better when somebody reviews that. But here's the next question: the mental workload that comes to your brain. A few weekends ago, I wrote, I think, a few thousands of lines of code with AI, and I thought I would go crazy, honestly. Because if you read this, it's just crazy. But yes, it's a problem. Code needs to be reviewed.
So here, just the next question. Now it's in the time when engineers are kind of skilled to write the code, to read the code. But maybe after 5 years, there will be kind of new generation of engineers that are already so used to use AI tools, not write and read the code, like from the raw documents. Just, I think people will lose the skill of writing good quality code and reading and understanding the code meaning.
Yes.
Because there will be no kind of pressure in mind that, okay, this does this, it just, okay, function name is subtraction, then it's supposed to do some operation. But in fact, it does something besides that. Nobody will kind of care so deep, and then maybe this job will just lose.
It's really hard to say, honestly. We even tried to make an experiment try to predict the future and answer this question: what will happen? So we had internship program here, and we had quite a lot of engineering interns. We decided, okay, what if we ask? Interns, most of them in engineering, most of them were just kids from universities, and we thought, okay, most of them did not have previous experience in this enterprise development and so on. And I was like, okay, what if for one intern we ask him to write everything only with AI? And surprisingly, all good. So his code was reviewed, he implemented everything, quality was okay-ish, he says he learned a lot. So, I don't know. Hard to say. So we did not get very clear answers right now with that experiment, but maybe you can try also in your company.
So maybe the good point here is that since there's no way back, like unless your company like strictly says cannot use AI, well, probably you will use it on your phone, right, or somewhere else, still using it. But there's no way back. So if you have junior engineers or interns, be very, let's say, ask questions about the code they wrote. Ask, okay, why did you write it here? Ask them because they need to start understanding what did the AI do. So this makes them look critically. So here I think those quality code reviews are very necessary. This is a learning point, not that, hey, this line of code sucks. Hey, what the fuck?
Yes.
Question mark, question mark. I mean, I've gotten those code reviews way back, like, that didn't tell me anything. And you're like, okay, what do they want? But yes, the quality code reviews, like, let's, like, keep an eye on them. Yeah.
From this point of view, if company try to find specialists and they have already AI instruments, the company doesn't need in junior phase, so even sometimes mid, because step of knowledge that you that were in presentation, it was for seniors. So where can you take juniors if company from the financial point of view doesn't need them?
We also thought like that 3 months ago.
Yes.
Oh, no joke, seriously.
Yeah. Do we need interns?
Do we need interns? What they will bring us? But after the internship program finished recently, we were like, wow, they bring so much new ideas and things, and they think in a different way. They are much more open for new ideas, and they bring a lot of new stuff. So we found a lot of value in that. And in some cases, that's fun, but in some cases, interns can be almost as productive as seniors in some areas.
Yes, but you're talking about interns, and their salary is like not very big, let's say.
Yes.
Juniors have higher prices, middles even higher than juniors. Do you need juniors and seniors, or interns and seniors is okay, like in this case?
Well,
from the point of financial view.
And at the end of the day, we hired many of them.
11.
I would say. Yes, a lot of them.
Also, yeah. Also, it's always good to not like stack your team with, hey, we have like 6 senior engineers, and then they get into a loop of, how should we solve that? You need that one guy, the junior, who will actually do the work.
Yes.
So, in some cases it happens. You need like, how to say, balance. Yeah.
They have different superpowers, let's say like this. So yes, 3 months ago we thought like maybe juniors will be not needed. And yes, it's very hard to find a job as juniors. So if you ask, I see a few people here who are on the junior level, and they say that yeah, it's very hard, but still we found the value in them, and a great value. Yeah.
Okay, here, yeah, I think that.
Regarding previous question about the languages, I think that maybe AI programming is simply a new level of programming language. I mean that you're still working with some coding, so prompt coding, and then you have some result which you validate. In the same way, you're not validating result on machine code. I mean, on assembly. I mean, you trust that it's written or interpreted correctly. And the same way here, I mean, you will start to prompt, and you will believe that this code was AI will generate, it should work. You simply need to test it by different engines. It's the same actually. Simply we have like low-level codes, high-level codes. Now we have one more level, which probably will be like AI code.
It's amazing idea. It's amazing idea. We also thought that hey, maybe we should already start a repository for prompts and keep prompts like a code in our repository. But then we realized one thing, that yes, it makes sense, but the output of neural network might be somewhat unpredictable because neural networks have such parameter as temperature. means that if you ask it once, and then you ask the same question later, it can give you slightly different answers. So maybe if you have neural network with specific temperature which does not allow these fluctuations in answers, maybe yes. But I think Satya Nadella recently said that maybe we should have, instead of our backend, we just have big prompted AI engines. Let's see. It sounds like a little bit early, but maybe that's a future. So big prompted agents. So you say, hey, here is your book about economics and banking. Now you will give loans to somebody. But slightly early.
Yeah.
Regulators will not like it. Or maybe, would you like to fly on a plane with a prompted computer? Maybe not yet. Right? Maybe later.
Prompt engineer. So I don't
Yes.
know how far it's like you, but it was the case.
Maybe later, yes.
Okay, and we had another question there, yeah?
Yeah, my question is about AI and hiring process in general. So
Oh.
my experience, for example, is that if you give testing task for interns, then 90% of them are done by AI, and most of them people don't know anything what is there in the code.
Yes.
And another thing that, for example, I don't do any more interviews, remote interviews, because I can't be sure that this is a person whom I will hire, because face can be replaced. And
Yes,
also
actually.
I had situations when there is a team sitting near the guy
Yes.
with whom I'm talking, so I cannot trust the remote interviews. What is your experience? How AI is changing your hiring process?
Similar way. We're also switching to in-office interviews, at least for some of them, and now we pay more attention to agility of the mind and how people can solve problems. So we don't ask knowledge-related questions, hey, what is how Java works, but hey, how you solve this problem. And sometimes we go in really wild. We give super specific problems like you go to medieval ages with computer, which product you will build in medieval ages.
And live, so like homework, yeah.
But homework, it's also questionable, right? So
Yeah,
sometimes
so
gives.
live. Okay, but thank you all. So that was it for today.
Very good.